What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time since the last video I posted, and it's been almost like a month or so. The main reason why we stopped working on the car is because the government shut down, so we kind of have to prioritize other things. But now that everything's back to normal, we're back on the car. I was working on the car, not as often because I have other things to take care of, but just to give you a quick update before you see kind of a bit of a longer video, I put in new skirts, I put a new fender, I installed a NSX-R support bar. There is some radiator support bars that I got, and they were back ordered. Completely forgot because I've been ordering a bunch of stuff for the car, and they show up a couple of weeks ago. So I finally had a chance and time to install that. So that is on the car. What else I got? As you can see, wheels are back on, the rear bumper installed. I removed the rear spoiler. That kind of damaged the trunk a little bit because it was glued to the trunk, and there's some scratches in there. I have to use a Dremel, sorry. And yeah, rear bumper and rear spoiler is in place. Everything is hand tied at the moment because, like I said before, I'm gonna wrap the car, and I want the installers to have the choice of all the options. If they need to remove something, they can just do it, a bit easier, and because I don't want to use any power tools. So when the wrap is done, then the car is gonna go to top coat, and so the car is gonna be gone for like a month or so. So it should be back on January 2026 after they're done doing the wrap and aligning all the panels, and mainly because it's Thanksgiving, and then after that it's gonna be Christmas, and I'm sure they're not gonna be working on my car right away. So my best guess is gonna be the mid-January. So pretty excited about that. I'm gonna show you all the things I've been doing for the past month. Not every day, but I was trying to come here and trying to do bits of work. I'm gonna be doing some carbon fiber stuff when the car is gone, but that's gonna be for the next episode. So without further ado, let's go with the video.
As you can see on this diagram, everything on red I received from my original purchase many months ago. The parts on blue, like I mentioned before, they were back ordered, but they finally arrived. So in order for me to make it work, I have to drill a few holes and remove the rivets from the upper section of the radiator. While I was doing that, I also took the time to replace the AC line that was damaged during impact. One of the main reasons for me to replace the middle radiator support bar was because somebody had the great idea to use self-tapping screws to adjust the hood latch that was out of place due to the impact.
Okay, so after installing the upper support bar from the radiator and the middle support bar, which holds the latch here, I end up cleaning the whole area. This is brand new, that is brand new. They drill additional holes on the middle bar, and they use self-tapping screws. God knows why, but at the end, I'm already here, and finally the parts arrived. So I swapped all that. I put this radiator duct, I think that's what its name. I don't remember top of my head. AC lines are all in place, everything is secure. I put installed the front end for a second, but then I remember that the headlights have some scratches here, and so I'm gonna repair that. There is also some dust. There are spider webs and a few other things. So I'm gonna detail this part, then I'm gonna remove that, put some compressed air, make all this dirt move inside, and put the vacuum and on the other side, and hopefully that should remove all this dirt. You don't get to see on the camera. It's very fine, but if you get close to it, it looks like somebody did a Halloween decoration inside of the headlight. So I'm gonna do the exterior first, do the interior first, put this back in place. Oh, also, I did that and I completely forgot to record that. When I first got the car, the turn signals were not working, and I noticed it was missing the flasher box. There's a module that goes underneath the steering wheel. I got a new one, put it in place, and everything went haywire. So hyper flashing, nothing working on front. One light was working on back, and then we started this really strong clicking. Now, some LED lights or bulbs has a some sort of a built-in resistor, I guess whoever worked in the car before or installed the LED lights, I didn't check, to be honest with you, that there were LEDs in the back. So that created all this situation that I didn't really care to check. That was completely my fault. But then when we took apart the headlights, then I noticed they have LED lights. And then I remember that many years ago, on the NSX Prime forum, and also thanks to Steve Glover and Joe Gutierrez, because they pointed me out to the thread on the forum. If you want to run LED lights on your 2002, maybe a 97 up NSX, you have to remove the flasher box, and you have to add a transistor in it, so the lights can blink properly instead of hyper flashing. If you do that mod, you can no longer run regular incandescent light bulbs. You only can run LED lights, because if you're trying to mix and match, then you're gonna burn the regular bulbs. So keep that in mind. I took some pictures. I didn't record that, but I'm just gonna post that later on the video.
Here you're gonna see me applying painter's tape around the headlights so I can use a 3M headlight repair kit. The scratches weren't all that bad, but they were really bothering me. After I was done working with the headlights, I proceeded to remove them, apply compressed air so I can shake the dirt and the web size inside of it, and then use a vacuum so I can extract all the debris. With regards of the flasher box, you have to solder a transistor in the circuit board in order for you to be able to use LED lights without the hyper flashing. After a couple of tweaks, I was able to make the headlights work as well as the turn signals without any problems.
Okay, headlights are in place. All the lights work. The rewiring and then the ballast and everything else that I fixed works. The hyper flash fix, and that is, if you want to add LED lights, I didn't want to add it. It came with the car, so I didn't notice, like I mentioned before, all the back of the car have LEDs and one of them have it on front. So I thought I have like a bad module, but in fact it's like I forgot that if you run LED lights, you have to install a transistors. I want to show you that at some point in time during the video. But yeah, so when you change that, then you can use LED lights and avoid the hyper flash. That being said, you can no longer use regular light bulbs. Otherwise, the light bulbs are gonna burn. So just keep that in mind. You cannot mix and match. And that's just only for the turn signals, left, right. And so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes, because the ones on the right, they are okay.
After I was done working with the headlights, the hyper flash issue, and the front bumper, I proceeded to move to the back of the car. Sadly, the only thing I could rescue from the original 05 NSX rear bumper was the crash bar and one styrofoam support corner. I had to order another one from Japan, as well as a new rear bumper and rear lower balance. Not even the bolts were accurate, so that was pretty annoying, but since that seems to be the name of this vehicle, I already have a backup of bolts, nuts, and rubber pieces to put this rear back of the car together. Now that the rear bumper and rear lower balance were together, we did a quick test fit just to make sure everything was straight. The next step is gonna be trying to remove the rear spoiler as well as the passenger side door side piece and the mirrors so we can start getting the car ready for a wrap. Now that the front and rear bumpers were installed, I moved on to removing the taillights, side door panels, and the mirrors to get the car ready for the wrap. Even though removing the taillights is a pretty straightforward move, in this particular case took a bit longer than usual. This took way longer than it should have. Most of the nuts were rusted and completely mismatched. You usually need an 8mm long socket to remove the nuts, but in this case I used an 8, 9, 10, and in 2 cases an 11mm socket just to get them off. On top of that, and this is pretty sad, whoever installed the spoiler used a double-sided tape and glue to keep it in place. Not only that, they double nut the studs to keep the spoiler attached to the trunk of the car. The nuts and the studs were fairly corroded, so I have to use a Dremel to cut the studs and some fishing lines to slice through the double-sided tape. Unfortunately, the trunk paint took a bit of damage from the glue on the corners of the spoiler. The mirrors and side pieces though, they came off without any issues at all. Now that the last pieces have been removed from the car, it's time to hand wash and clay the entire exterior to remove any contaminants. After that, I'm gonna be compounding and polishing the entire paint to get a smooth finish in preparation to the wrap.
Like I said, I'm gonna compound and polish the whole car so I can get a smooth finish, so I can apply the vinyl and change the color of the car. But yeah, let me go back to work and I'll keep you updated during this episode. So
after almost a full day of wet sanding, compounding and polishing the body of the car to correct as many paint imperfections as possible, I was actually pretty happy with the results. One thing I decided to do was buying a brand new passenger side fender. The one that came with the car was damaged from the accident, and even though the guys at Top Coat worked their magic, at this point I've basically replaced everything up front, so I figure I might as well make the fender brand new too. In addition to that, I also picked up an NSX-R from Support Chassis Bar to add a bit more rigidity to the front end, especially since that is where the accident happened.
all right, before I put the front bumper, I decided to reinforce the front end of the car. So I got this NSX-R front support bar. I got this from Science and Speed. By the time I post this video, I think Science on Speed are going to be doing a discount on some of the parts, so you should take advantage of that and visit scienceonspeed.com. So this is a NSX-R front support bar, and since the car has been in an accident before, even though it's been, you know, put in a frame machine, I just want to reinforce the front. So you're going to have a bar. This is a Honda part, so it's gonna be right here. You're gonna have 2 brackets, one in each end, like that. And there is gonna be one in the bottom, which is this one right here. This goes right under the battery tray. This goes right here. If you have this radiator shroud, you're gonna have to cut it just to you know, give you a heads up. Now, since that is an NSX Type R and an NSX part from factory, and this is the same, this is also an NSX part. When you remove this, you don't have to guess where to cut. If you remove it, and you're gonna see in the corner, right in the middle, there is some marking for you to cut it and be able to fit that. So you don't have to like measuring or anything like that. You're gonna see a marking. So what I'm gonna do now is remove the shroud, cut it, put the front bar with the brackets right in the middle, and then lift the car, put on the bottom, put the shroud back on the car, put the front bumper. So you can see the side skirts are on. I'm gonna put the rear bumper. I'm not gonna install the headlights, sorry, the taillights until I'm done wrapping the whole vehicle. And when I'm done with that, I'm gonna put the wheels back on and put the car on the ground for the first time in 6-7 months. So then it's gonna be Thanksgiving week by the time this video goes out. So I don't think anybody's going to be doing any work on wrapping the vehicle, so it's going to be out of the garage for a couple days, and that's going to give me a chance to work on my carbon fiber project for this car. I have a pretty cool stuff coming up soon, so just to free up some room, get rid of some boxes, some parts I'm no longer going to use, like the seats or a bunch of other stuff that they're not going to be going back to the car. So I think it's going to be around 2 weeks by the time they finish the car, and that's going to be Christmas when it's done. I should be able to drop the car at a top coat so they can make sure the gaps are right. I'm trying to do it myself, but I don't have the patience for that. And they have more experience doing those cars because they've worked on many NSXs before. So they're gonna align all the panels, make sure everything's straight, make sure all the gaps are good. And when that's back, I should have most of the carbon fiber stuff that I'm working on ready. And I should have some news with regards to the power plant or the powertrain for the car. So let me start remove the shroud, do the cutting, put the bar, put the front bumper, put the rear bumper afterwards and the wheels. And yeah, let's go back to the video.
The kit includes 2 aluminum bars, one that mounts across the front of the car between the frame rails and the other one that goes underneath the frame rails above the battery tray.
I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but hopefully the lights. There is already a marking here where you have to cut it. I don't know, I'm trying to see. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. Let me see. Hopefully it's focusing properly, but right here, there's a cutout. So you have to follow that and then you should go straight.
Now that the NSX-R bars are in place, it is time to install the radiator shroud and get the front bumper back on the car along with the wheels. That way I can load the NSX on the trailer and take it to get it wrapped.
Alright, and this is how we're gonna wrap up the video. As you can see, we did some decent progress in the past month, even though I didn't have a lot of time. It looks pretty solid. I mean, I know we're gonna change the colors and we're gonna realign all the panels to make it look good. So a bit more work to do. The car is gonna be gone, like I said, for like probably a month and a half, mainly because the holidays. It's like a week of Thanksgiving, and then I'm gonna get the car back, and that's gonna be pretty much Christmas. And so I don't think they're gonna touch the car right away, but it's okay because that's gonna give me some time to work on the carbon fiber stuff. With regards of the engine, I got a lead on a 3.2 in Pennsylvania. The engine wasn't as good as I was expecting, so that was pretty sad because I was pretty excited. I'm glad I did not announce that because that would be a big fail. I have another lead on a 3.2 in Houston, Texas, so I'm probably gonna go there and check it out. If I don't get a good 3.2 or something that is worth spending the money, I'm just gonna put one of my old 3.0s and put a supercharger on it and just put the 6-speed on it. I'm not gonna case swap the car. I'm gonna keep it as is, or trying to keep it as close as OEM as possible, even though I'm changing the side skirts and the suspension is different and the hood is different and the Type R and all this other stuff. I mean, I don't want to change it that much. I want to add some flair to it, but nothing too extreme. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about the carbon fiber stuff that I'm going to be showing you guys on the next episode. But till then, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your comments, good and bad. We take both. Again, I do apologize for the delay, but you have to take care of some other important stuff. We love these cars, but when things like that happen, there is other priorities that we have to take care of. But yeah, thanks for checking us out and happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a good time with your family and loved ones. And I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and comment our videos. Please consider subscribe to our channel, as well as visit our other media accounts at Helix Autoworks on Instagram and Facebook.